thought maybe you might have got hungry and eaten already. The hunger gets me good today.
There. Buddy, you don't have enough fight. You're gonna drown right there. It's never gonna be successful. And you feel like you're not going anywhere. You go back to that day one. It gives you confidence to continue the journey. There are gonna be days, man, where you're dragging ass. There's every excuse in the world why not to go to the gym. We will kid ourselves, man. We will fail all the time on ourselves. But it's a sad motherfucker that fails when someone else is doing it.
Alright guys, welcome back to the prep series. I am 62 days out from my first show and 75 days out from my first pro card attempt, and Jean is 89 days out today from 88, sorry, from the New York pro.
If you believe it, your body physically find a way to make it happen.
I've said this to Jay many times. I don't think I've seen someone that is just so focused on it. No matter what people say, you just keep moving.
It's tough to say that you're feeling good all the time, because that would be a lie. You're underfed and you're doing the hard training. Carbs are getting really quite low now. But, you know, this is what we signed up for. You're deluded if you think you're going to go into a prep and cruise your way all the way to the stage, feeling awesome the whole time. But therein lies like the challenge of the prep, and therein lies, I think, the beauty of the prep itself, because I think there's beauty in knowing that a lot of people can't walk down that path, you know, because the discomfort and the inconvenience and the pain and the suffering becomes too much for people to bear. And you know, I think I take solace in the fact that knowing that when things get hard, people are probably starting to tap out, you know, and when I think about that, I'm like, okay, well, now's the time to really lock in. This is people are sort of jumping ship, you know, but we stay on and we see how far we can take it. So, you know, the mental side is, I'm always finding it more enjoyable the deeper we get and the harder it gets, because I know that, you know, it's becoming more and more special and rare, you know, the closer it gets. Physically, you know, I get my ups and downs in waves of energy. Some days you're feeling okay, and some days, you know, you drive to the gym and you sit there and, you know, you just kind of feel like you're a bit of a zombie. And there's not a whole lot of drive and kick to get moving, you know. But I think me and John have talked about this, understanding that those low days are totally normal, and not getting sort of too overwhelmed when those days come, because, you know, you just need to tell yourself that those days are going to come, but there's a day behind it where you're probably not going to feel so bad, and you will have that extra little boost. You know, a prep is a lot like a roller coaster. You know, it goes up and down, and I think you just need to understand that it's going to be a bit of a ride. And on the days where things feel good, you know, push hard, and that's what we try to do. And then on the days where things feel really hard and a grind, that's when you just got to rely more on discipline. Don't expect the motivation and to be feeling sort of high and mighty. Just bite down and get it done. But in terms of with my physique itself, I'm quite happy. You know, I did not expect myself to be holding this much size at this condition, and I put that down to how we've been training. We really have not missed a beat with our training in the last couple of weeks, and I know for a fact that we're training harder and longer than 99% of people, and that's why I think that I've been able to hold so much size and fullness while the body fat has continued to come down. So I'm sitting 105 kilos this morning with, some lines in my glutes and feathers in my quads. There's not a whole lot of fat to do. Of course, there's plenty, but like with 9 weeks, that'll be easily stripped off. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling on track. I'm feeling ahead of schedule, and feeling very motivated to bring my best to the stage and to make sure that I'm to be the most conditioned person on that stage.
When you got fourth, they counted you out after you got third.
Everyone's doubted me my whole life, and I've done everything people said I couldn't do.
It's doing very good. It feels like it's just the beginning of prep, and it is just the beginning of prep. It's when you take, for example, a back off set with 16 reps, I've just done the first 3 or 4. So yeah, I should feel good now. I feel good. I feel also that my body is working very good. My weight is not how I wish it is, but yeah, that's it. I just deal with that, and I try not to focus so much on the weight. I have a coach. He says what to do, and I just trust on that. And yeah, so yeah, that's good. I think the training, as Jackson already said, the intensity is so fucking high, and I think to come out of the gym after every single training and like, okay, that was a so good session is the best thing you can have. In off season for sure, but in prep it's even better. I had like 1 or 2 days where I felt like a little bit depressed. But yeah, that's also normal in prep. Yeah, Jackson, we talk about that, and that's you have higher highs and lower lows in prep, but yeah, the days are normal, and they have to be there to make the victory at the end so much better. I want to feel proud of myself when I step on stage, and when it's not hard, there's nothing to feel proud of.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm motivated, looking forward for the next weeks, because I'm so excited for our training session we'll have to push. And yeah, I'm very happy with the situation right now. Yeah.
Something in the near future, relative future, that gives value to today. Everyone sees Derek, Heidi, Samson. These guys look phenomenal.
And I like this one a lot, because at this time I had so much problems with eating my food. My first prep, I ate like one cheat once a week. It was called, it's not good. And then they said it was also a Machiavelli video. When you want to cheat, when you want to eat the good food, the delicious food, just go to your bathroom, get naked, look at the mirror, and decide no. And I like that. So,
Did you do it?
no, but the sentence was enough for me to
Yeah.
not do it anymore.
The food plan now for me, I mean, I'm a little bit closer to showing John, but eating a little bit less than here at the moment. I mean, it could be worse. I'm around 2,500 calories on my training day, and a little bit closer to 2,000 on my rest days, and most of the carbs are in the pre, the intra, and the post workout meals. And then I have sort of 3 no/low carb meals. And yes, I'm hungry. Like, do not get me wrong. Like, I'm hungry all the fucking time. And you finish a meal and you still kind of feel hungry. I'm at that point. But I also told myself getting into the prep that if I had to do 8 weeks of no carbs, would I do it? And I said, yeah, I would. So and I'm not there yet. And maybe I'll have to go there. I'm not sure. But the important thing is, like, I signed that contract with myself. I said, sort of, would I be willing to do 2 months, 3 months on no carbs to bring my best physique and to win a pro card, to be a successful pro? Fuck yeah. I'd eat dirt if I had to, or nothing if I had to. But that was what was going to make me better. So I was prepared to go to any length with the food, despite how hungry I'll feel or how shitty I'll feel. Because as John said, if it wasn't hard, there'd be nothing to feel proud of at the end. And And I think the greater the struggle, the greater the reward and the greater the sense of victory that's going to come. So I know that I am suffering now, and I know that I am grinding now, but I also know that if I succeed with what I'm working towards, the victory is going to taste so much sweeter than whatever extra carbs or things I'm feeling like right now.
Yeah, same. I have almost the same calories than Jackson, just like 100 calories more. I think there's no time in the day where I feel like I'm feeling good and the hunger is away. But yeah, that's totally fine. I'm also in off-season hungry, so yeah, I think that's normal. But I think it's not hunger like poor kids in Africa are hungry. We have food. So I just try to focus on, okay, there's meal, I will eat it, and after, okay, it's finished. Not on focusing, or maybe it would be nice to eat more, so that brings me nothing to think about it. So yeah, just eat it. And I think sometimes it's easier to just have the 0 carb meals, because it's just like something, okay, I have a shake, I think you're and just drinking the shake, and then you don't think so much about food. So I'm also prepared for the 0 carb meals, and I think they will come. But yeah, we will get through this. I'm 100% sure that there's no option. So what would be the option to say, okay, tomorrow we eat pizza? No, that's no option.
No,
so yeah,
for some people it would be an option, but
yeah,
for
but
us,
no.
for us.
No, never. The biggest prep mistake is to thinking, okay, I'm in prep now and I have less food, so I cannot train hard anymore. I think that's the worst what can happen, because when you start training light or not going to failure, you will lose your muscle. It's 100% sure. To me, every day, just hold your weights and try to improve from session to session, because when you improve and when you take more reps or more weight in the last training, there's no reason why you should lose muscle, even when you're in 0 carbs, because it's not possible, because the muscle moves the weight. So it's so easy, but yeah, at the same time so hard to do, because when you're hard deep in prep, it's not easy. But just try to improve and not to focusing on, okay, I'm hungry and I cannot move the weights. Not overthinking that part.
Yeah, I really agree. I think people get in prep and they become so focused on trying to like avoid the fatigue, and they'll reduce their training intensity, reduce their volume, and the second you start pulling back on the training, you give your muscle less of a reason to stay around. And I'm a big believer that whatever training you did to build the muscle is a training that is needed to keep the muscle around. And if you reduce the training stimulus, you're going to reduce the muscle. The muscle no longer has a reason to stay. And especially when you combine that with less food and less nutrients, it's a recipe for the muscle loss. And I think that's why you see a lot of people lose so much size in their contest preps. And I think you just accept that a prep, there's going to be fatigue. And it doesn't really matter if you train to failure or keep 2 reps in reserve. You're still going to be fatigued because you're chronically starved, hungry, and the energy levels are going to be low purely just from being in the deficit all the time. So me and John talked about this. We said, well, if we're going to be fatigued regardless, why don't we just go for it with our training? Why do we have to pull back? Because certainly when you look at some of the best bodybuilders of all time, they didn't pull back in prep. Not at all. In fact, the time in prep, like with the Dorians and Ronnies and Kevin Lebronis, that was the time where they were training their hardest. And so for us, we're up in the ante even more. And we've set ourselves a challenge. We have our pep talks before each workout, and a big focus point for us has been like, fuck this stimulate or maintain mindset going into our workouts. Let's grow into our show. Let's chase progressions with our training. As long as we can fucking go, you know? And yes, like people would probably look at our training like, whoa, it's too much, and they're in the gym for so long, and they're going past failure, and all this is so bad, you know, but we're not dead. We're okay. You know, like we're fatigued, yes, but so is everyone else at 9 and 12 weeks out, you know, if you're doing your prep correctly. So it's, you know, I just think people back down their training because at the heart of it, they're tired and they don't want to. Training hard is uncomfortable and it's not a nice fit. But for us, you know, we're not going to hide away from the challenge and the discomfort, and we are going to test our limits as far as we fucking can with this prep. Jan's saying she's getting frustrated with her weight, but you know, I think a big part of that is she's getting leaner while growing muscle. And my weight is much higher than I thought at this point in this condition. I think it's because I'm growing muscle as well. So, you know, I don't want to put limitations on our progress. You know, I truly believe that we can continue to grow at this phase of prep. So, you know, this week for us, the training, a big focus is going to be like go for it and treat the sessions like regardless of how we're feeling, treat it like we're in the middle of the off season, or we've got all the carbs in the world, and just take the sets as far as we fucking can and see what happens, because so far so good. We haven't seen any bad things happen yet. Only good things are coming from it. So, you know, we're gonna continue to ride it.
I think it's the training and the mindset. On the road here to the apartment, I was just thinking about that. I think it's so crazy how much work we put in, and other would say, yeah, but you're an amateur, but why do you put so much inside? But I think the main thing is that when you want to be a pro, you should work now when you're an amateur, like a pro, to get there. So I think that describes how we train, and what maybe is different to others, that the goal is so clear, and we say before training when we talk, the goal is so clear that every set is so focused and not like jumping around and doing some photos and just look good and looking in the mirror and do flexing stuff. Yeah, that's cool, but they will not bring you to your goal. So I think that's the biggest part of do other than others in training. Now when we look next to us, what the others doing. So yeah, the real focus in training, and that we don't care about the people around us and just focus on ourselves. So I think in training it's just you and me and the weights, and it's not like, oh, you saw him or her or talking about things that are not necessary for our training in that moment.
Yeah, I feel like there's two things that set us apart right now in this prep camp that we're doing. We really kind of live in a little box, you know, where only prep happens inside that box. And like you said, we don't really care about anything else that's happening in the world right now. Like each morning we get to the gym, we do our cardio, we do our mobility, we do our abs. And then the next thing we're talking about is what was the training for the day. And then we'll meet at the gym again and we'll talk about the training. And then, you know, so for the 4 hours that we're in the gym for our training, you know, we're purely focused on each of the working sets with zero distractions around us. When we finish the workout, the last thing we're talking about before we leave is what is our focus for tomorrow. You know? So it's every day into the next one. And it really feels like all of our minutes are being invested towards this one goal. And I don't think that many people are doing that, you know, and yeah, the Olympians probably are. But like you said, like, if we want to get to the Olympia, we probably need to be doing what the Olympians are doing before we're actually in Olympia, if we want to get there. Like we can't expect to get to the Olympia while doing an amateur approach. And you know, we like I've seen just in the gym recently, you know, even some people that I know I'm competing against, you know, doing content creation workout, where they're just sort of skipping into each exercise to see what looks good for the shot, and you know that they will arrive to the gym after we're already beaten off for an hour, and they'll leave, they'll finish their workout while we still have an hour to go. We're just doing more. We're doing more every facet of the process, and I do believe that extra investment, that extra role, it's going to pay off sooner or later. Maybe not at my first show, maybe not at your first show, but at some point, I believe that we're going to get rewarded for that, and that extra time, that extra investment, that extra work is just going to stack up, and over time give us those small little advantages and edges over the other people, even the people with better structure, genetics, and better gifts than us. We'll just slowly catch up to them and slowly overtake them with time. I believe that. So yeah, we spend a ridiculous amount of time at the gym each day. Like you said, we have one goal. It's a very fucking clear goal, and we don't want to spread ourselves thin with other goals, because if we spread ourselves too thin, it's distracting from the main objective, and it just risks not getting there. I think we're boys at a point in our lives now where we don't want to let anything get in the way, and we don't want to leave anything up to chance. We want to be 100% certain that we are going to bring our best to these shows, and that's, that I think that's what we really need to feel, and what we are going to feel when we show up on stage in 9 and 13 weeks or wherever we are. Right, so I'm going to take you through my intra-workout cocktail. The goal of any intra-workout is to hydrate, vasodilate, spare muscle glycogen, and spare muscle. So first of all, going with the sports fuel, which contains the electrolytes for hydration, the citrulline for vasodilation, and the carbs for glycogen sparing. So we start with 40 grams frozen, 40 grams here, which gives you net 30 grams of carbs. Then for muscle sparing and anti-catabolic purposes, I use EAAs in the form of HUA. 20 grams. And then I do another 10 grams of the BCAA recovery. Now, BCAAs aren't essential by themselves, but when combined with a full spectrum amino acids product like the HUA, I think they are beneficial, because BCAAs, while they are also EAAs, tend to have a more pronounced effect on activating muscle protein synthesis. And the BCAA recovery also has extra potassium and electrolytes, which is important when trying to hydrate, especially when you're training like me for 3-4 hours in Bali weather. Then for extra vasodilation, I do 2 caps of the Pump FX, and I just empty the caps. Here. One. And lastly, I'll just do 10 grams of glutamine. Now, the research on glutamine is a little bit skeptical, but I think in scenarios of high stress, such as a contest prep, and when you are training for 3-4 hours on very low food, like I am, I think there could be some slight upside to including. Also tends to have some benefits on digestion as well, which in contest prep, I will certainly take that. So I'll shake this bad boy up and generally start sipping on it around 20 minutes into my workout. So if you want to get any of these supplements for your intro, please use my code Jackson. Helps support me and helps support my bodybuilding and my bodybuilding goals. I'll let that bad boy chill in the freezer for a bit. Have the pre-workout meal, and then go annihilate some back.
Pre-workout.
Yeah.
I'm testing my prep patience right now. Just lost the whole intra-workout into my bag. Deep breaths. Deep breaths, Jackson. Sometimes in prep things don't go to plan. So, and you know, when your stress and your fatigue is high, it's so easy to like make small things feel overwhelming. You get like so stressed and angry about things. So I just like took a second to like go in the bathroom and just like reset and make sure that like whatever bullshit that you might be dealing with, you know, like leave it there. Don't bring it into the training, you know, because I think if you're a professional, you can't let things outside the gym impact what happens inside the gym. So, you know, I had a moment there where I was feeling pissed off and angry because my drink exploded in my bag, and like my notebook and my gym bag and all the things was all a mess and sticky. But you know, you'd be a fool to let that impact the training, you know, especially with someone like me that has goals like I do. So, you know, take a second, have a breather, let it go, come back in with a clear mind so that we can attack the training properly. Because I mean, I'm 62 days out, 9 weeks out. I've got 9 back days, 9 opportunities to get better, and I'm in no position to waste a fucking single one of them. So we're good, we reset, we have our pre-workout drink, we go handle business. So something that we've been doing each session is having a pre-workout pep talk. Something that we've taken from pro camp and bring it into our own prep camp. So I'll let John take us away with what's your focus and motivation for today's session.
My motivation for today's session is to see every set as an opportunity to show how bad I want that, to make my reps good, controlled, focused on the target muscle, and when it starts hurting and the reps getting really, really hard, to focus, okay, that's the reps which are counting. It's not about the first easy reps, the 10 who everybody can do, the ones where the others stop, that are the ones they count and that I want to do. And that's my focus. See everything as an opportunity to show how bad I want it and to focus on my goal, yeah.
Something I'll add, just because I know Jean's too humble to say it. I made the comment to her last week that there's this like tactical gym bag that everyone gets once they become an IFBB pro, and you sort of it's like a military style backpack, and you have like the different patches on it. There it is.
There's the bag.
And you know, like one of the rites of passage is once you turn pro, you get the IFBB Pro patch on your bag. And I said to John, I said, you're probably the only person I know that has one of those bags without the IFBB Pro patch. And she said, yeah, like I'm a pro, but like I don't feel like I'm really a pro until I'm a top pro and getting top placings in the pro league. And I thought that was a good learning point. I think a learning point for a lot of people, you know, in terms of like where are you setting your ceiling and your expectations, your targets. Because some people have a low ceiling and they just, all they want to do is become the pro and then that's it. You know, but I think the true champions are looking well beyond that. And I think that's why Jan's going to go so far, because she's not just looking at getting the pro card, or she wasn't just having that as her end goal. Her goal was already set well beyond that to be a top level pro, and I think she's put that accountability on herself to earn her respect in the pro ranks as a top pro before she puts the patch on. And I think that says a lot about her as an individual and where she's heading. My focus, motivation for this session is I really want to do something extraordinary this prep, and extraordinary in the sense of like just surpass people's expectations of me, you know. And I haven't competed for 7 years, and I consider this my debut season. I consider this my first proper show as a competitor, as an athlete, and people would probably think, okay, with your first show, like you could be satisfied as maybe like placing well in the state show or the regional show, or maybe winning a regional show would be like a goal. But I want to do something extraordinary in my first year as an athlete, and you know, I don't want to just do well at a regional show. I want to go from being, you know, an amateur who hasn't competed really to being, you know, competitive with top level pros within 12 months. I have no issue saying that, because that's what I truly believe in my heart, and I know that people would look at me, and I don't blame them for it, and say, you fucking idiot. You know, you haven't even competed, you're an amateur, you have no right to say this, you're delusional, why could you believe it? But I believe that with my work ethic and my obsession and my commitment to this 24/7, and my willingness to go over and above what other people will, I believe I can do something special like that, and really have a very rare first 12 months in the IFBB. And you know, other people have done it. It's happened a few times where someone's gone from amateur to Olympia qualified in their first year, and it's outrageous. But I'm setting myself outrageous, extraordinary goals. But the difference between doing something extraordinary and doing something ordinary is the extra. So, you know, I have no right to say those big goals unless I'm willing to absolutely fucking work my ass off. And that means we might have to spend 4 hours in the gym for this back session. And that might mean that I have to take these working sets well beyond where I want to take them to and where they're going to really fucking hurt. But the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is the extra. So I will just do extra in every part of this process. Extra reps, extra sets, extra hours, extra discipline, extra focus. Do everything extra, and just know that sort of when I show up to that show in 9 weeks' time, I've done everything extra that I could to be my best. Ready for game on? Let's go do it. Trying to get a good amount of blood in the lats before we go into more of like our compound rowing and pull down movement. Big 2 warm-up sets here, and then a top and a back off set. Get this. Finish. One more. Tight, Jackson. So exercise number 2 is a high row, working the mid and upper back. So we'll go to a couple of feeder warm-up sets to get in the groove of it, and then we hit a heavy top set, failing somewhere around 8 mark, and then we'll drop it back a little bit and run some high reps above sort of the 10 to 12 range, but same mindset, reach failure and then go beyond. Come on! Team effort, that one.
The weights are getting heavier and I get lighter, so it's harder to spot.
hit T-bar rows then. We worked up to a heavy top set. I think I got 6 plates for like 9, which is 1 rep up on last week. And then we backed it down to 5 plates. I picked up 2 reps on last week, but you know, it's really like I can feel the fatigue hitting now. And I was telling John just a second ago, with the fatigues, you know, you feel so shit, but then you kind of just flick that switch for like the 1 minute of the set and kind of just don't think and forget about it, kind of like a sprint. And that's what we've been doing, and then it hits you like a ton of bricks once you put the weight down. But the most important thing is just figuring out a way to get a good performance in during the work sets. You know, we only have really 2 working sets per movement, so it's like 2 opportunities to create a stimulus to get better. So I think despite however you feel, just try to flick that switch off or flick that switch on for the work sets, and then just go for broke, and then let the fatigue hit you afterwards. But we keep rolling despite how we feel. Got a chest supported lat dominant row here. Gonna probably do 1 or 2 feeder sets, get a bit of blood in the lats again, and then we'll hit a top set to failure, and then back off set to failure as well, with a bit higher reps. So I lost my intra on the way here with my 30 grams of carbs, and you know, the prep is really hitting me in this session, and you immediately start sort of having these little conversations in your head, like, oh, maybe I'll just go up there and buy a banana or buy a shake or buy a juice, and it's like a parasite eating away at your self-discipline. And I'm just telling myself, like, no fucking compromises, no fucking compromises, you know. What are you trying to do? Like, it'd be so easy to compromise here, but I think that is weak mentality, second call out behavior, if you will. And I will not compromise. I refuse to compromise this prep. You know, I need to be able to go up on stage knowing that I did not negotiate with myself, and I executed the contract. Done your warm-up? Take note, boys, if you're rowing less than 3.5 plates on the row, have a good hard look at yourself.
Come on. All the way. Last rep. Come on, Jackson. We do some more lat work. Jean competing in figure, me competing in men's physique. You know, one of the biggest assets in both of our divisions is the V-taper from the rear. And to achieve the V-taper, or the Dorito shape, you can tell I'm hungry talking about Doritos, you need lat width.
So we're adding a little bit more lat volume into the program today. Even though we've already done heaps and we're both pretty tired, me especially, we're gonna drive some more lat volume because I think the better V taper we can get, the more places that we can climb at our shows. So we really focus on driving the elbow on an arc and using the lat to move the weight, not the rhomboids and the upper back. So we'll do 1 feet a set here, and then we're just gonna hit a couple of mediumly heavy sets, failing at like probably like an 8 to 12, I reckon. Yeah.
More effort. Come on, Jackson. Finish the rep.
There's nothing worse than giving you fucking everything and John's just like, give us more of it. Wild. Absolutely wild. I reckon the worst I've ever felt in a training session in the last 10 years. But the thing is, it's not going to get any easier from here. And it was funny, like we said, like we get bad days and good days in prep. This is one of the bad ones for me. And to be fair, like the performances, exercise 1 through like 5 or 6 were good. But then, you know, I just bottomed out hard. Starting to feel like some really weird things, like started shivering, started getting really cold, pumps were gone, started getting angry at Ricky, wanted to go home. Those days are going to happen in prep, I think, if you're really getting in condition. But I think that's the times where you got to dig deep, lean on your training partner if you're lucky enough to have one. You know, because, you know, I'm blessed to have John in the room with me, because, you know, it'd potentially be a different story if I was here by myself feeling the way that I do now. But, you know, John's not going to give me any leash, you know, which I'm thankful for. And like we gotta, even though I feel like a fucking bag of shit right now, we got in a really good session. It was long, it was hard, nothing was left in the tank. And I think these are the ones that are probably most valuable and where you can get the edge on the competitor next to you, because maybe he's not willing to suffer as long as and as far as I was here. So yeah, it was a tough one today. I think it's almost 6 o'clock now. We got here at 1:30, I think. But, you know, if it wasn't challenging, there wouldn't be a reward. And if it wasn't hard, like John said, you wouldn't feel proud. And I can say, like, I rarely feel proud with many things, but considering how shit that I felt, like I've never felt this bad in a training session that I can recall in the last however many years I've been training. But I do feel a sense of pride that I was able to get through it and know that I didn't skip any sets, I didn't skip any reps. You know, I tried my best that I could do under the circumstances. I know in my heart I gave everything into my sets, even though I was feeling like garbage. So, you know, that's the value in these trials and these really hard sessions where you are getting tested. And tomorrow's a new day, you know, so things might be better or might be the same again. But you know, the most important thing is being very clear with the goal, understanding how important it is to you, and what you're willing to sacrifice and endure to get that. And I'm willing to endure these sessions for the victory. You know, if it has to be like this, then so be it. You know, we'll march through regardless. But I'm smoked. I'm hungry, I'm flat, I'm cold, I'm shaking, shivering in the gym, which I've never done. So it's time to get the post-workout meal in. John, final comments?
Yeah, I think it was a tough workout, 100%. Don't forget that your intra was not here, because I think that's the reason why we take intra. That's when at the half of the workout we have our carbs to recharge again. So there was no recharge today. But yeah, we totally made the best of it, and I think that the most of the people were maybe at the beginning when the intro was not there, oh fuck, I have to go home, maybe I will do the workout tomorrow. And lately, in mid of the workout, I think the most people would quit or do a little bit less effort than usually because the intro is not there. So I think that's a good example how your mindset should be when you want to improve. So yeah, I think we made totally the best of this workout. Even when it was a hard day, there were some new records. So that's what counts. And yeah, I think we can go here outside with a good feeling. Tired, but that's how it should be.
Tired but proud
Yeah.
of today. Let's go eat.